What is up, everyone? As you can obviously tell, the sun is shining. Is obviously whatever storm that we was having earlier is taking a break at the moment, and you can tell from the lighting. I love this lighting specifically because while I don't really like the silhouette on this side, I do like the brightness on this side. So you can kind of see, just how weird looking I actually am. It's like because if I cover up this part, you know what I mean, it just looks completely dark. I don't like silhouetted faces and stuff like that. So I do plan on getting another ring light. My last ring light did die on me, and shout out to the girlfriend for buying it for me, by the way. Um, but yeah, so there's that. But I'm starting to realize, like in the it's we're now sort of in to the year 2024, and I'm thinking about it, and it's like 2024. It doesn't like in the growing up in the 90s, you was always sort of told this idea that like the year 2000 was going to be the future. You know what I mean? It was going to be the future. You were going to like there was going to be like this scientific revolution, and we were going to like have so much cool stuff. You know what I mean? And it feels like the only difference between 2004 and 2024 is, you know what I mean? It does feel like there hasn't been any kind of. It doesn't feel like there's no like transportation hasn't improved. There's no flying cars. There shouldn't be, but it's like there's no neon lights. It's not there's no push towards like no push towards like futurism that we was supposed to have when 20 when the year 2000 came around. Like I'm pretty sure there's a lot of writers from like the 60s and the 50s and the 40s that's probably looking at this like they're probably just you know in the afterlife just like this is seriously. You know what I mean? And it does kind of feel like it also feels intentional. Like it feels like this denial towards a scientific revolution where we could just kind of improve socially and improve like on a technological level. It does feel like the pushback is because the country is in this crazy state of progression versus regression, and like it's at a standstill because we do get technological advancements, but we also still got racists just trying to bring back slavery. So it's just like it just sort of it frustrates me a little bit. It's a little annoying to like look at and think about because there's so much that we could be doing to like improve everything that's going on, and the reason why we can't improve that is because it will just hurt some rich people's feelings. Like that, I just find that to be a little bizarre, if anything. What else is there? But yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like it does feel like I said, and that's kind of the big reason why I'm into politics in the first place. One of the big reasons why I'm like so focused and motivated about politics is because everything has like because politics isn't just the government. It isn't just Congress and the president and the Supreme Court and like state governments and local governments and municipalities and stuff. It's not just that. Literally, politics is ultimately just like the balance of power in this nation. Everything, as long as there are things, as long as there's a group of people, there's going to be a discussion about power and authority and who's going to be in charge and what's going to happen and who's going to determine what and things like that. Is not just the government. It's literally just anything. And I feel like the problem is that like it's really easy to be like oh, politics ain't really that important because it's complicated. Nobody wants to hear about it. You know what I'm saying? Because but it's like it's purposely complicated because what better way to like get people to be disinterested in something by like just making it hard to explain. That's the reason why I don't trust like a lot of business practices and things like that because businesses are purposely complicated, but at the very end of the day, it's how does the guy at the top get the most money by doing the least amount of work. That's like you can like split that up any which way you want to, sprinkle in as many jargon as you can, but at the very end of it is how does the guy at the top get more money? That's all it is. So there's that. Another thing too is It's just that like at the very core of what it means to be, like that's what I'm saying. As long as there's a group of people, there's going to be a discussion about, who's going to be in power, who's going to be in control of what, like what's going to happen here. And that part just sort of it annoys me just how easy it is for like that conversation to kind of just sort of get thrown by the wayside in the name of something like entertainment. Like in America specifically, like the power of entertainment has like such a hard grip on just people. You know what I'm saying? Just like because right now, for example, there is this like all up and down my Facebook wall. There's this discussion. Apparently, Meg The Stallion and Nicki Minaj are beefing or whatever. And like, first off, to me, I don't care about rap beefs. You know what I mean? Like at the very end of the day, like it's one of those things where it's like nothing. Like I'm not affected regardless of what happens, so I don't care. Like another reason why I'm so big into politics is because whatever happens in politics is going to most likely personally affect me in some fashion. Whereas when it comes to like entertainment, is like it won't. You know what I'm saying? It's just like whatever happens between those two has nothing to do with me. I don't know these people that have really interacted with them, but there are people who are hyper focused on this thing, and I just find it to be a little ridiculous because it's like there's people. I'm convinced now that there's people out there that kind of just sort of want something to worship and want something to kind of like they want something to support with all of their heart and all of their mind. They want something to kind of like it's like I have all of this like scatteredness about myself, and I want to just organize all of that into one thing or into something that like I want something to give me direction. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's people who want to be given directions. You know what I mean? But they're only gonna like follow somebody who they don't want to follow. They're only gonna follow somebody who they probably agree with, or probably somebody who they think is beautiful and attractive, or somebody who think that they're as charismatic, which to me is just another word for beautiful and attractive. But it's like but it's like they want somebody to just sort of give them direction, and they look for it in entertainment. And entertainment is chock full of beautiful, attractive, charismatic people. You know what I'm saying? Who some might actually be problematic in some fashion. So the issue is ultimately like you go in and the issue is that like there's people out there who look for these people to sort of follow, and they follow them, and it's just like and nothing. It is no benefit to either of them. There's no benefit to the person. There's no benefit to the celebrity because celebrity. I mean, you're just another person in their mentions, or you're just another person that follow the big person. But there's no benefit to you either because these people will not care about you. You know what I mean? So it's just like there is. So it's like but it's like this guy is like I'm part of the group now. I'm part of a fan base. I'm part of the and it's like the fan base is usually also kind of like toxic too. So it's like like the fan base is like if you're loyal to somebody, right, and that person to like with me, I'm a big fan of professional wrestling. I've always been a big fan of professional wrestling, but it wasn't until Chris Benoit died that I realized I'm more a fan of the wrestling than I will ever be of a wrestler because I don't know the wrestlers. I've only met like maybe a handful of wrestlers in my life. You know what I'm saying? But not enough but like and I love some of these wrestlers. These wrestlers who I've met, some of them I'm friends with now. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I don't think they couldn't tell me to go and commit some random act of anything and I would just be like, okay, I'm gonna go do this, like some random act of I don't know domestic terrorism or something. I just do it. You know what I mean? Like I'm a big fan of Booker T. The whole reason why I'm here in this building, in this city, in this state, the whole reason is because I'm trying to become a professional wrestler. Booker T has a professional wrestling training facility, literally like far down the street from here, and I am willing to do whatever I can to at least just be able to be at the seat of the master as often as possible. And but if Booker T basically told me, um, post a picture of myself throwing the middle finger to a picture of Vince McMahon, I probably wouldn't do it. Why? Because one, I don't care that much about Vince McMahon to hate him that much. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't love Vince McMahon, but I don't hate him either. It's like, but also another reason is because like that's it would be like it would be ridiculously unprofessional. If Booker T told me to do that stuff, I would probably be like, I would probably lie to him and be like, totally 100%. I just can't upload it right now because my phone's acting up. Something like that. You know what I mean? But I am a big fan of of people. But it's just like I'm not enough of a fan of people that I'm willing to just like completely ignore my own personal scruples about certain things to just be like, okay, I'm following you 100%. I'm devoted to you because I'm not. I don't like being devoted. I don't like the idea of devotion to another person. So I just find that to just be, I like, because like they can, if you're devoted to somebody else, they can tell you to do anything and you'll just do it. And I don't want to be that person. I want to be able to know that I can still say no. Damn, were my lips really that bad the whole time? Um, so yeah, that's me. Like I don't like the idea of I don't like the idea of somebody telling me something to do that like I know is wrong, and I just do it anyway. I'm not saying that I wouldn't do anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I would have to agree with it in order for to do it. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Mm. So yeah. I also don't like the fact that there is these two individual circles of political and entertainment. Like there's politics and then there's entertainment. You know what I mean? And it's like what people don't understand is that like politics and entertainment. Once again, politics is ultimately just like an explanation of power. As long as there's a group of people, there's going to be a political discussion. Who's going to do what and why? That's basically all it is. Entertainment has that same concept, and I feel like where people tend to ignore is that like there is politics in entertainment. It is not just like it isn't just like liberal, conservative, America. No, it's not that. It's basically it's not just that as much as it's simply who gets to do what and why, who gets to have what and why, who gets to like what's the power structure here and what's the power structure here and how do things go with it. And I feel like because people don't really care about the people only care about the behind the scenes when there's just some kind of like when there's some sort of like tumultuous tussle going on. They don't care about the fact that like you kind of know specifically. I feel like you can tell how not necessarily how smart a person is, but how focused a person is on actual serious issues by what they're focusing on when they're focusing on something. With me is always kind of like I always kind of want to know what's going on behind like what's happening what's happening in certain scenarios. However, in professional wrestling, I just care about the wrestling. I'm not asking, hey, how much is this wrestler getting paid, and like I don't care about stuff like that. But I would like to know, hey, if something has happened, what has happened? Because as a guy who's trying to get into the wrestling industry myself, I would need to know that so I can know what to work on for myself. So there's that. Um, but yeah, it's like I kind of just the thing going back into the Nicki Minaj versus Meg The Stallion rap beef. Whatever. First off, I think it's orchestrated. I think it's fake, just to kind of get them both some sort of relevance because rap beefs spike up sales for certain things. But and people love that people love that back and forth between two people. It's like maybe there is a bit of an issue there, but also some of this stuff, like I said, it's publicity stunt for money, more money. It's like, well, they don't need to do that. That's not what they would need to do. They probably just really don't like each other. Like it's like, who cares, bro? Shut up. So there's that. But also, I kind of wish that people, it does feel like a bit of a distraction from like a whole bunch of other stuff because like while that's happening and while that's kind of like plaguing my wall at the moment with this whole thing between them, like there's literally talks about Republicans trying to have a civil war, all in the name of making life miserable for brown people. I'm not saying don't talk about the Nicki Minaj versus like not Cardi B, the Meg Thee Stallion beef. I'm just saying, also talk about the fact that we could literally be facing another civil war because of, you can talk about more than one thing at the same time. You could be focused on more than one thing at the same time. There's a lot of stuff that's going on. It's ridiculous. It's stressful. It's aggravating. Sometimes I just want my brain to just sort of be fogged up for a little bit and just like not have to worry about serious stuff. Sometimes I want to just have fun. It's fun to focus on a rap beef. This is fun for you. Why? Because it's like playing with action figures. Because you know that whoever wins or loses, it doesn't affect you. What is fun about this? People love saying that they do stuff for fun, but they'll never tell you why it's fun. I just I feel like I can tell you why something is fun to me. I feel like if nobody can tell you why what they're doing is fun, it's probably malicious or not malicious as much as just kind of ignorant. Like it's kind of like how if somebody can't explain to you why something is funny, I feel like they just either A like to laugh or B like to laugh for the wrong reason. I'm not. I know it's a very judgmental thing for me to say, but it's like there's just too many people who are doing. There's just too many people nowadays who are just sort of like trying to sort of just be bigots out in the open and just want people to be okay with it, and I'm not cool with that. But yeah, you know, that's kind of that was it. I know it's long and I apologize, but I hope y'all understood what I'm trying to say. Y'all be easy, love and peace, and I'm writing a book, and I am trying to start a political party.